Many people think that softball was made from baseball, but the sport's first game actually came from a football game. According to an article titled The History of Softball, Pain is Temporary, Pride is Forever, found on web.sbu.edu, it states that in 1887, a group of 20 young men had gathered in the Farragut Boat Club gym in order to hear the Harvard-Yale football game. After Yale's victory, a man picked up a stray boxing glove and threw it at someone who hit it with a pole. George Hancock, considered to be the inventor of softball, tied the boxing glove so that it resembled a ball, chalked out a diamond on the floor which gave it small dimensions than a regular baseball field to be able to fit in the gym, and broke off a broom handle to serve as a bat. Thus a new version of baseball was born, softball. They were all so excited about what game they have created. The Farragut Boat Club decided to officially design their own set of rules, and the game quickly spread to others in Chicago and eventually throughout the rest of the Midwestern in the U.S. As the history of softball made itself after a decade, the game was also called as indoor baseball, kitten baseball, diamond ball, mush ball, and pumpkin ball. In 1926, Walter Hackinson decided the name softball while representing the YMCA at a National Recreation Congress meeting, and by 1930 the name stuck as the sport's official name. In 1934, the Joint Rules Committee on Softball came together to create a set of standardized rules. Up until this point, the game was being played with varied rules, player positions of all sizes. The original softball used by the Farragut Boat Club was 16 inches in circumference. However, Lewis Robert Sr., the man responsible for organizing softball games for firefighters in Minneapolis, used a 12-inch ball. According to an article titled 16-Inch Softball found on Chicagoology.com, it states that Robert's version of the game used a 12 inches circumference rather than the 16-inch ball used by the Farragut Club. And it also states a 12-inch ball is now the standard with many youth leagues using an easier handle 11-inch size. Some leagues play a variation of softball using a 16-inch ball. Games using these 16-inch balls are called cabbage ball, super slow pitch, and mush ball. And unlike actual softball players, are not allowed to wear gloves. Softball was originally showed as an indoor game for baseball players looking to keep playing and in shape during their off-season. It got so much popularity that it quickly became its own official sport. According to an article titled The History of Softball found on isfsoftball.org, it states that in 1991, women's fast pitch softball was added to the 1996 Summer Olympics, an event that people recognize as the ultimate success of a sport. Although softball was later dropped from the 2012 Summer Olympics lineup, the sport is still one of the most popular sports in the U.S., and 113 countries have officially joined the International Softball Federation since the organization's formation in 1952. According to the official rules of softball, there are 9 players on the field at a time. The players play the positions of pitcher, catcher, first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, third baseman, and outfielders. Usually there are 3 outfielders, a right fielder, a left fielder, and a center fielder. Slow pitch softball allows 4 outfielders in the outfield. Just like baseball, the team with the most runs at the end of the 7th innings is named the winner. However, if the teams are tied at the end of the 7th inning, the game can go into extra innings until that tie is broken. Today, softball is one of the most popular sports in the country, and about 40 million Americans play in at least one softball game each year. Because it can be played on a field or an indoor field, softball games are played year-round and have teams with players as young as 8 years old and some players as old as 60. Softball is sometimes played in leagues where both men and women play on the same teams, but the rules are reduced because of the physical differences between the genders. The history of softball is still ongoing, and the game has changed and has many changes and differences since it was first created in 1887, but is still one of the most preferred sports in the country. It has also been started in many countries such as Australia, China, and Japan.